Alright, let's see if this is gonna work. So, welcome to my adult vlog, because you don't want to see my teenage vlog. It's interesting. Anyways, so I guess I have to reintroduce myself. Well, how do I have to reintroduce? Jennifer. I work for Volkswagen. I do sales for Volkswagen, which is mighty fun. And I live in this wonderful apartment behind me with my boyfriend Armando, who works for Citizens Bank. And I'm restarting my vlog account because I feel like I've got a lot to talk about. Got a lot to talk about. You can't even tell. Oh, now you can. Alright. I've got my fair share. So, the first thing that I actually want to start with is my living situation currently. So, we moved into this apartment. It's coming up on 3 months ago. No, I lied to you. 2 months ago. They're coming up on our third full month, but we haven't even gotten to our second full month. So, we moved into this apartment. And this wasn't even the apartment that we were looking at, to be honest. We were looking at the apartment downstairs, which is a lot smaller. So, like, the size of the living room that I'm sitting in plus the kitchen, that's the whole thing. And anything was honestly a step up from the apartment that Armando and I lived in before, but we knew that we needed something with a little more space. And we were just kind of giving everything a look, just to know what in our price range there was, if we wanted something better, how much more would we have to be able to budget, things like that. And so, we weren't too thrilled with the apartment downstairs, so she goes, well, our landlord Jenny, goes, well, I have another apartment that's actually upstairs that, you might be interested in. It's a little more than what you're anticipating. I don't remember if it was $10.50 or $11.50 a month. I don't really recall, but it was a little out of what we wanted to spend, but it was worth a look since we were there. When we walked in the door, we pretty much fell in love with it. It was everything we wanted, just more than we wanted to spend. So we had to go home and really think about the budget, but about 3 hours later, Jenny gives us an email, and she lets us know that, oh wow, my camera froze with me flipping everybody off. So we get this email from her, and she's telling us that she'll do the apartment for $9.50 a month, and we're thrilled with that. That's way closer to what we wanted to budget. So we moved along pretty quickly with getting everything all squared away and all set. So we move in, and a week later, I'm at work, and I get this call from Armando, who is clearly upset. And he tells me that Jenny just came by, and she gave him a letter that is basically asking us to leave by the end of the month. Whoa. It's been a week. Whoa. Like, I understand that there's some boxes in places, but come on, I was getting to it. I work 5 11-hour days, and I'm doing it. I promise. It's just not that quick. So I'm like, I'm going through everything in my mind. I'm kind of really freaking out. My camera keeps freezing. It's pissing me off, too. And so I call her. She doesn't answer. So I work in sales. I know these things. I think everybody has common sense, so they know these things, too. But I like to make myself feel better, all right? So I call her from our work phone, and of course she answers. She acts like she has no idea who I am at first, and then she tells me that she's not going to talk to me about this on the phone, but she'll set up a time where she can speak to us, and we'll go over it from there, which is just fine. She says that she can do it tomorrow, which is Sunday, way back then, and she can be here at 9 a.m., and that's perfect. I work at 11, so that gives me just enough time. So I don't sleep all night because I'm freaking out. And she shows up at 9:50 the next day. Now I'm late for work. And so she starts off the conversation by telling us that she doesn't have any sort of feelings, or she's not angry at anybody, nobody's done anything wrong, but that she would like us to move out because she needs the apartment so her daughter can move in. Her daughter and her daughter's 3 kids. Fantastic. So, we kind of sat down and talked about that because I explained my side where I don't really think that that's fair. This is a building that has 8 units. I was just trying to figure out why she picked us out of everybody that lived there. It didn't seem fair to me. She takes the one couple that is going to have a child. I mean, we're the only couple in the whole building that has kids. Well, we'll have kids. We'll have kid. And, but she also picks people that had just moved in a week ago, So, we kind of pry her a little bit about it. She doesn't really want to talk about it. She's just adamant on the fact that, her daughter's going to move in here, and then she switches up the game and says that her and her husband are going to move in here. And then, she keeps reiterating the fact that nobody's done anything wrong. She's not mad at anybody, but she's tired, and she just doesn't want to, do this anymore, and, we're not really understanding. And Armando kind of brings up the point, well, if it's lead, let us know, where we're willing to pay for some of it. We just want some sort of, security that allows us to stay here for the next couple of years. And so she says it's not that even though she told us that a lead inspector came out, and I was here for a lead inspector, she says that nobody's come out to look at it, which doesn't make any sense to me. But, and then, so she moves on, she says, well, you know what, I'm actually selling the building. So I'm doing you a favor by letting you know and asking you to leave before the new landlord asks you to leave. Which is really confusing to me because, yes, the new landlord could ask us to leave, but my parents were in real estate my whole life. It can take a building a long time to sell. So, you're asking us to leave, but you're not necessarily doing what's best for us either. And I know that it's not your job to look out for us, but did anybody else get the letter? She says no. We're the only ones that got the letter in the whole building. We're the only ones that know that she's selling the apartment in the whole building. For whatever reason, well, I have my own reasons, but nothing's adding up at this point. I don't understand. Is she selling the apartment? Is she really kicking us out so her daughter can move in? She's trying to use this as an excuse? Well, I don't know, whatever. So by the end of the conversation, we pretty much came to the conclusion. Actually, we didn't come to the conclusion. She told us that she's no longer asking us to leave, but that if the new landlord asks us to leave, we will have to, which I will respect 100%. I had no issues with that. We just asked that she leave that to us when the time came. Fast forward a week and a half later, she comes in, they fix the lead in the apartment magically, and we leave and go to New York for Honda Day. So this is back April 11th and 12th. So we're gone for a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And when we came back on Tuesday, I get pulled aside by Gary, who is Jenny's husband, the landlord's husband, and I get yelled at for the state of my apartment. Which is really confusing to me because, well, my webcam's not going to allow me to show you this time because it's going to keep freezing. But, I keep my apartment. You don't really get to see much, but my computer's charging, so I can't really show you. But I keep my apartment very clean. I'm nesting, obviously, but the only place in the whole place that is a little dirty is the bedroom, and that's because there are clothes everywhere, because I have too many clothes and he has too many clothes. And to be honest, we just can't fit them anywhere anymore. It's getting crazy. But, we're working on it. Like I said before, going back, we work a lot. So, it's trying to find some time, and then you do a little bit, and then a little bit, and then a little bit, and it all gets done. But anyways, it says that we're going to cause them cockroaches. So then we're not on the same page here, because we're not talking about how dirty my bedroom is. We're talking about something else. Weird. So I let him talk, and, just, I said, okay, all right, well, thank you for letting me know. I'll get to work on it. Now, I left 2 dishes in the sink when we went to New York, both of which were cleaned off. I just left them in the sink because I didn't have time to wash them, because I made myself something really quick before I left. But I rinsed out everything and made sure not to leave food. I wasn't going to leave food and come back 4 days later. That's disgusting. We even took out the trash. So, I'm still not really understanding, but I'm like, okay, well, if she's talking about the dishes, I guess it doesn't matter if they're dirty or clean. They shouldn't have been left in the sink anyway, so whatever. And so fast forward about another week, and all of a sudden we get these 3 letters. One is a noise complaint from our neighbors downstairs, which is very confusing to us, because they came up, we introduced ourselves, we ran into them, well, him, I haven't ever met her, a couple times, and they like to listen to the music really loud, and said if we're ever too loud, let us know. We have no issues, we just don't want to cause. Perfectly fine. And likewise, let us know if if we're ever disturbing you. Apparently they gave us a noise complaint, which I'm kind of thinking isn't true. I honestly think that she's making it up. Then she gives me a letter for my car being parked by the dumpster, which the only time my car would have been by the dumpster is so that we can load or unload things from the car, like put dirty clothes in the car or take groceries out, which she said that we're allowed to do. We just can't do it all the time. Or we can't do it all the time. We can't park there like as our normal spot. We have to park back in our assigned spot, which is perfectly fine for me. I have no issues doing that. We have a spot like right up front anyways. So we get that. And then our third one is she needs to talk about the pigsty of an apartment that we have and how we need to talk about cleaning it up. And which I'm really not understanding. Like I said before, I feel like ever since that conversation on that Sunday, she has been out to get us, and it sucks because the one place that you really don't want to feel like this is your own apartment. So, I guess my main reason for making this today is just I want to know if anybody else has ever gone through an experience similar to this. I want to know if anybody else feels the same way that I do, like there are landlords out to get them, like you can never do any right by them. All I want is to have good relationships with the people that I'm going to be living in their apartment for as long as I possibly can. But I would appreciate any comments, any feedback. Be great.